Okay. Enough of this music business. We got business to do here. We got real business, not this music. Let me get my radio guys going. Hello out there in Radio Land. We are here. We are ready to go with your city, your voice on this manic Monday. A little bit of a rainy manic Monday, by the way, out there in the studios of 4680Q, where it's nice and dry, by the way. And we always broadcast from 4680Q Radio, the number one radio station in the Niagara area. Yeah, that's who we are. The numbers don't lie. We are here. My name is Paul K. Lemire, and of course, you know the name of the show. It's right back up here. Let's talk about the show. But what a weekend we had! This was a phenomenal weekend, and I'm going to tell you one thing right now. I can't say enough about the Rick Rose event on Saturday. I'm going to talk all about it here in a minute. But boy, oh boy, when a community comes together to honor one of their guys who made such a difference in the lives of a lot of people in Niagara Falls and other places too, um, you got to say, man, oh man, it feels good that they honored this legend and came. Oh, we're going to talk about it later. Right now, let's talk about this crazy weather. Smoke in the air. It's almost foggy out there from the smoke coming from I think it's northern Ontario and Manitoba or somewhere. Either way, it's here and it's a pain in the neck. But Saturday was sunny all day. It was a beautiful day. It's like somebody from above opened up the skies and made it sunny for the day. It was just a beautiful day. Everybody enjoyed themselves, so that's great. Now, I'm hopefully the weather's arrived for the summer here. We got to get some good weather. This is crazy. Smoke and pollen is just hanging in the air. It's my eyes are just running all the time. We had a crappy May, and June's not looking much better now, is it? Look out there. It's not looking that great. The meteor crater's looking good. Rain, sun, all those weeds are just growing. That pollinator meadow, we don't have to pay 40 grand. We got one for free. Okay, so we got a little break in the weather here, a little bit of rain in that. So you know what? It's a great time to get your car to Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. One of my sponsors, along with Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue and Hamill Machine Company. Yeah, so, you're going to be getting going here. The kids are going to get out of school. You're going to be traveling. You know it. The kids want to go to Darien Lake. The kids want to go here. They want to go there. Guess what? You don't want to be going anywhere if your car is going to break down. So what do? You take it to Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. They are going to check your car from top to bottom, front to back, and make sure everything's running A1 so you don't have those breakdowns. It's called being proactive, and that's something you should do, and it's something I try to do. Yes, and Wild Bills will check your car out. They're going to make sure it's running tip top and fix anything that's wrong, and it give you a safe motoring summer. They also have a full body shop, so if you get in a wreck, you take it there. Goes in wreck, comes out, showroom new. Just like in showroom condition when you bought the car. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Oakwood Drive, next to the Kia dealership. Get down, call Wild Bill today. WildBillsAuto.ca is where you go to make an appointment and give them a call, and they'll take care of you. We got to talk about this Rick Rose event. I mean, what a fantastic day. Yeah, it was a few months in the planning, and everything had to come together, and it did. It worked perfect. Fantastic turnout to honor Rick Rose on Saturday in front of Chaps Brewhouse. Of course, most of the Niagara Falls dignitaries were there, including Mayor Jim Diodati and councilors Lori Lococo, Mike Strange, Mona Patel, Victor Peterangelo, and Ruth Ann Newestig. They're all there. I think this could be the first time on my show I've actually called them by their real names, which is amazing. They were all there to uncover a sign naming that part of Queen Street Rick Rose Way, honoring the Niagara Falls musician, writer, producer, and entertainer who gave so much to our city and left us far too soon. Councillor Dabrowski, Chris Dabrowski messaged me and said he had another event he had to go to. He couldn't make it, but he did congratulate us for the great event and letting me know he was indisposed and couldn't make it. So nice of him. So nice of him. Thank you, Chris. Though you couldn't make it, your mind was there, maybe. It was great speaking to the counselors. You know, I'm one of their biggest critics on this show. I like them all. I know most of them, and they're good people, but that doesn't mean they're good at what they do on city council. Good people, one thing. Good counselors, another thing. But they're trying to do a job that you can't win, since somebody's going to disagree with your stand regardless. But they were there to help us celebrate the Rick Rose sign unveiling, with the mayor giving a rousing speech about Rick Rose. He knew him. Jimmy grew up right down the street here in the corner of, I think, St. Lawrence and Park Street. And Rick Rose grew up across the street on Park Lane. So they're downtown boys. They're downtown boys. And he knew Jimmy well, of course. He knew him very well. So it was nice that Jimmy said a lot of nice words about him, talking about the days when Jim had a bar in downtown St. Catharines, Rick Rose would come to play and everything else. A little bit nostalgic, and it was nice. It was a nice speech. Oh, let's see what else. Councilor Peter Angelo was playing coy when I asked him if he was going to run for mayor. He said, "Victor, you going to run for mayor or what? Come on, give me the scoop here." He says, "Who the heck wants that job?" So, he's not going to say anything, of course, and I appreciate it. But at the end of the day, I think he would be a good mayor. He'd be good in the mayor's seat, and I wouldn't be surprised if he runs one day. He's got the knowledge. He's been there long enough. He knows how the city runs, and Vic is one of those guys. You might not always agree with him, and a lot of people criticize him, but he's not a time waster. He gets up, he says what he has to say, and he sits down. He doesn't waste a lot of time. And also, when he gets in the mayor's chair, he's pretty efficient. He goes through it without all the corny jokes and cracking jokes and entertainment factor. It's a serious business, the way it should be run. So he may run one day. So I'm just giving you kind of when I talk to these guys, right? And I talked to Mike Strange. I said, "What the hell, Mike? What the hell?" He goes, he didn't say a lot, which is understandable. Since the situation is all before the court, so he did go to court on Friday. We'll talk about that in a minute. The surprise of the day, other than the great event for Rick Rose and the number of people who showed up to honor this Niagara Falls legend, was Councilor Mona Patel, who graciously stepped forward and said, "Hello, Paul," and shook my hand. Now, that may not be a big deal to you, but it was a big deal to me. I was taken aback since I regularly give her the 1-2 on this show right here. I'm pretty tough on Mona Patel. And it was a big surprise because the very first time I met her, she looked at me like I was homeless. She looked at me like a bum. I was standing there talking to MP Tony Baldinelli at the backyard barbecue at the casino. I was talking to Tony there, because I know Tony. And she came up with her husband, and Tony said, "Oh, this is Paul Lemire, this is Mona Patel." And I says, yeah, I know. And she goes, "Yeah, I know who you are too." She was looking me up and down like a bum, right? And so I just laughed, and I don't care what these people think of me. I couldn't care less, especially her. Who the heck's she? Nobody. And so I just laughed it off, and I was talking to her husband, and I said to him, like, "So what do you do?" And he says, "I'm an engineer." And I'm going, "Oh yeah, what railway do you work for?" That didn't go over well. And I asked her to come on the show before the election. Like almost every candidate, incumbent or new person running from the city and the region came on my show. I think there was 3 or 4 who missed. Councilor Tony Baldinelli never came on. And Mona Patel never came on, but the rest all came on, except Wayne Thompson, because I didn't think he was capable of sitting here for an hour discussing city stuff with me, and I didn't want to put him through that. But other than that, everybody came in. Vic Peterangelo, Strange, all the incumbents, all the guys running, they all came in. We had a ball. Got to know them a little bit better, where they were at and what they were thinking of doing and that kind of thing. She wouldn't come in. Okay. And of course, I'm tough on her. But she graciously stepped forward, said hello, Paul, shook my hand, and yeah. So that was nice. Thank you, Mona. I appreciate that. Maybe she listens to my show. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't, though, because if she did, she might not step forward to shake my hand. I talked to everybody there. Jimmy didn't have time. He was glad handing everywhere, but he did step forward and say, "Hey, Paul, how you doing?" He shook my hand. The only one I never really interacted with or talked to or anything was Ruth Van Nieuwesteg. Ruth Van Nieuwesteg, she never said hello or anything. Although I known her for years, but I'll give her a pass only because there was so much going on. There had to be 50, 100 people out in the street blocking Queen Street when they unveiled this sign. There was a lot going on. So maybe, I don't know, it's hard not to see me. I mean, look at me. It's hard not to notice me standing there for 20 minutes. But that's up to her. I don't know what the hell she was up to, but I'll give her a pass only because there was a lot of people. But the others, all of them, great, great people. I mean, had a good talk with them. And, like I say, I appreciate them. And I'm not really, really kind to city council a lot of times. And they understand that it's just what I do and that I like them, but they're going to be called out if I don't agree with what they're doing. That's it. And I'm going to continue to do that because that's what I do. Oh, man, it was so nice. It was so nice when they unveiled that sign, everybody standing there, Rick's family and his friends all cheering and everything. It was something else. It was a perfect day and a perfect event, and everything went off perfect, and just a great, great tribute to Rick Rose. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the people that made this event a huge success. I mean, come on, not one person could pull this off. We had to have the cooperation of a lot of people. And I want to thank the following for their Herculean effort to make this all come together in a historic moment in time on Queen Street on June 7th, 2025. Wendy Laird, who spearheaded the campaign to have this part of Queen Street named after Rick. She was really the catalyst for this whole day of recognition. She asked for the street to be named. City Council said yes, and the rest is history. And this 4680Q for taking a street naming ceremony and making it a musical event as well as to honor Rick Rose. So unbelievable. It could have been just a bunch of people standing around and pulling the sign off, and that was that. But no, it was made into an event with musical acts, and every one of those artists came here and actually played out of the goodness of their heart and their love for Rick Rose. And we're going to thank them. We thank all the show hosts from 4680Q that showed up at the event. There was Heather Fraser there. What's his name here? The Spanish guy. I can't remember his name. I'm bad at names. Sorry about that. But he's a great guy. If you get a chance to listen to his show, I think it's on Mondays. He does it all in Spanish. He's a good guy. We had a lot of laughs. I do speak a little bit of Spanish, not a lot. I do dabble in it. When I was in Mexico, I tried my best. Not very good, but I know a lot of words that he was laughing at. That's for sure. Who else was there? Joni. Joni was there from the Joni and Pat show. She was there. Who else was there? Maria Recruit was there. And of course, Pat Porter and I were there. And who else was there from the studio? Did I see anybody else? Oh man, I'm going to get in trouble now. But just everybody that showed up, thank you so much for representing 4680Q. Rob Repros. Now, this is a guy that I can't say enough about. This is a guy we have to give an honorable mention. He went above and beyond, doing yeoman's work to set up, coordinate, and find all the great musicians who appeared on stage to honor Rick. He took care of all that. He ran the soundboard. He played himself. I mean, the guy did it all. Yeoman's work over and above and beyond. And I reached out to Rob because I know he knows a lot of people. He books these acts, and when I asked him, Rob, we're going to do this. You want to be involved? Can you help us out? And he never even hesitated. Never hesitated. Paul, I'm going to do everything I can to help you. And he did, and he did. Unbelievable. Thank you so much, Rob. We really appreciate it. And yeah, I've got to give you a big shout out for sure. Honorable mention. Um, he used to have a show on 4680Q. He doesn't anymore, but we still appreciate him from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you. And to all the entertainers that gave their time on stage to honor one of their peers who left us way too soon, Rick Rose. We had so many great people up on stage. Chico Sanchez and Dylan Mars, Dealer's Choice, Vivian Ray. She was home from LA. She's in LA now making records and stuff, creating songs. She's going to be a hit. You got to watch her name, Valerie Borghese, Vivi. And Ray on the keyboards to accompany her. She was fantastic. And who else do we have? We had Matt Keegan was in. He did a song in honor of Rick. We had John Kruchke, I think his name is, but he brought up some students from Neoma to play. Rob Reproves played, of course. We had Angela Siracusa and Rob Leclerc playing. They got up and did a bunch of songs. Oh boy, I'm gonna forget somebody again. I should write all this stuff down. My memory isn't quite what it used to be, but geez, I had the list. I had it all written out. I knew who it was before, but that was 2 days ago. But if I missed anybody, come on, give me a break. I can't remember everything. It was such a wild day of happenings, and it was great to see everybody out to honor him. To Tim Atherton, who donated the great Epiphone guitar signed by a ton of artists who are the pulse of Niagara music scene. This guitar is one of a kind, and it's a piece in a roadmap of his music history in Niagara Falls and the area. Unbelievable. Signed by so many people. I have the guitar at home. And I got to thank Gary Wilkins, who won that guitar and immediately donated it back to raise more money for the Rick Rose Music Foundation. And do not fear, Gary. We're going to plan either another event around it or some way to raise money for the guitar, and we'll make more money for the foundation. And we thank you so much for your generosity. That was unbelievable that you gave it back, and we are going to use it to make more money for the Rick Rose Music Foundation. The event isn't over yet. We're either going to have another one or somehow we're going to find a way to make more money out of this guitar. And Gary Wilkins, another guy who went above and beyond, he was there to help us out early in the afternoon, and he also donated that guitar right back when he won it. Thank you so much. And of course, to all the great people that came out to honor Rick, he was much loved in the city. It was great to see that people appreciated his talent and his pride to be a lifelong resident of Niagara Falls that gave so much to the city and asked for so little in return. What more can we say about him? He deserves that sign on Queen Street, and he deserves all the people that showed up to honor him. And yeah, what more can I say? You want to see a piece of Rick Rose? Just go down to the thing. And I don't want to forget all our sponsors. What about all the sponsors who laid out money? 4680Q Radio, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop on Oakwood Drive, Hamill Machine Company, Ronnie Don's Ice Cream on Queen Street, Taps Brew House, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, the toy shop in Walkerton, Ontario. If you're ever in Walkerton, look up Larry. Go into the toy shop, look up Larry. Say you're from Niagara Falls. He's a Niagara Falls resident, moved up there, runs a store, and he wanted to be in on this right away. Right away. He knew Rick, he knew Rosa, and he said, yeah, I'm in. The wine place, the gig guys, and Ribstock. I mean, sponsors are so important to these events. They pay a bit of the way so we can give the money to the Rick Rose Music Foundation that we make. We thank them for supporting 4680Q in your city, and you should actually support these businesses because they were so nice to be involved. And last but not least, I want to say a special thank you to the manager and staff of TAPS, Alicia, and the staff. I don't know all their names. Jill, I know Jill, and the rest I really didn't know. But they really took the time and effort to make this event a success. They were right there. Anything we needed, whatever we wanted, they were there to help us with it. And it couldn't have worked out better. And we thank them so much. They fenced off the area. They had a barbecue going. They had drinks on the patio, out in the patio where everybody was sitting. Brought out chairs, brought out barrels to stand on, had picnic tables out there, opened the doors. I mean, they were fantastic from the get-go, helped us with their... Thank you so much for Taps Brewhouse. Go down there, have a brew, because I'm telling you, they deserve your business. They're very, very nice people. And that's about it for the thank yous. I mean, I could think of a whack more people who were involved and helped out here in some way. I mean, they're all there. Heather Fraser from 4680Q, she did yeoman's work selling tickets at the event. She was all over the place. She was like a ping pong ball, bing, bing, bung, 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 all over the place. Pinball Heather, and just great. We had a good time, and thank you so much, everyone. Okay, let's move on to my second sponsor. Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. You know, when I want a pizza, first place I go to is Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. Why? Because they are good and they are consistent. That's right. When you go get a pizza, it's a very good pizza all the time. A lot of pizzas are up and down. You don't know who's cooking, No, it's the same every time you get it. They use the Mancini family recipe that's been around for 40 years successfully for sauce and cheese and crust. They mix mozzarella with brick cheese, put it on the pizza in the right ratio with the sauce so you can taste the cheese, you can taste the sauce. They have fresh ingredients, whatever toppings you want, they have there. You can't beat it, and they cook it to perfection. They also have phenomenal chicken wings, by the way. If you want some chicken wings, they have those. Also, they have steak and cheese poutine. You name it, they have it there. It's fantastic. They make great food. You're going to find something. Panzerotti, you name it. How do you get this beautiful food? Simple. 905 374 2222 or go to Pete's Pizza Victoria.ca and you can get your order online. They use Dine and Skip and Dash and all the other stuff. Get yourself a fresh hot pizza. You're not going to go wrong. Tell them Paul from Your City Your Voice sent you, and so they know how they found. Oh, they want to know how you found out about them. Tell them you heard it here. Thank you so much for supporting our sponsors. We really appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. Come on. Hit that subscribe button if you're watching. The more viewers we get, the better. It helps the algorithm. It helps us get the show out. The more that are participating, the better. Let's get some action going for the next election. It's a year and a half away in October of 2026. Let's roll this up so we can get more than 27% of the vote out. That's what we do at this show. Your City, Your Voice. Come on, subscribe, help us out. Thumbs up, thumbs down, comments, whatever. We thank you very much. We appreciate you helping us out. Okay, Canada Day Parade is at Fireman's Park again in 2025. The party's going to take place July 1st from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and will feature a number of family-friendly events. Musical acts will perform all day with LMT Connection. That's a good one. They're going to be headlining the day. There will also be outdoor curling, axe throwing. I don't know about that one. And rock wall climbing. More than 10 food trucks will be on site, and free Canada Day cupcakes will be served while supplies last. That'll be pretty good. Limited parking will be available for $10 a vehicle, with proceeds shared by Heartland Forest and Stanford Center Volunteer Firemen's Association. Niagara Transit will provide free shuttles from all areas of the city, leaving from and returning to the Gale Center, the McBain Center, Club Italia, and City Hall. I mean, if you're going to be going later on in the afternoon or something, you might want to get a shuttle, because believe me, there's not a lot of parking down there. You're going to have to park in the neighborhoods around and walk and hoof it up to the park. So what better to go down to one of these McBain Center, Gale Center, uh, over there, and grab a shuttle. Club Italia, City Hall, just grab a shuttle and go and enjoy the bus ride. Go there, have a couple pops, get back in the bus and come home. Nice and safe and sound. And of course, I'm not sure why, but no parade this year. I don't know. The parade was always the highlight of any Canada Day celebration, but that fell by the wayside once the city took over the downtown BIA and moved the event from Queen Street to Fireman's Park. But I'd like to see the city get back on the parade bandwagon, and maybe right after this one they can start planning it, because it's really important. I think it's important that we have a parade. I mean, everybody loves a parade. Queen Street used to be packed. Everybody lining the streets. You've got a big street. You know, you can go up Mountain Road or down Dorchester or whatever with a nice parade right into the park. Why not? Why not? We'll see. Maybe they'll bring it back. Maybe I'll have to keep mentioning it on my show until they decide they're gonna, if they're listening. But I'd like to see a parade. Wouldn't you? What's your give me your opinion on the comments? Is it a waste of taxpayer dollars to have a parade, or is it something that we come to expect now on a day like that, a big celebration like that? I'd like to see it. I know it costs a few bucks, but a lot of volunteers and stuff like that do that. So what the heck, right? Okay, over to the story. Mike Strange arraignment on Friday was adjourned to July 2nd, so there's nothing to report regarding him being arrested and charged and by the Niagara Regional Police early in May. Strange did not appear in court. Stay tuned to this one. It's been remanded to July 2nd, so 3 weeks from now, basically, we'll see what's going to happen and go from there. I know you want me to keep you updated on that, right? Everybody's wondering about that. If you don't get the review, you'll decide in the review. I'm not saying anything that isn't out there in public. I don't have any inside information. I don't have anything. Now, over to this George Floyd bench. I have a big problem with that. I don't know who put it up. I don't know who paid for it. And I don't know why the city let it. But why would the city honor a career criminal and drug addict? This guy held a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach, threatening to kill her, along with her baby, if they didn't get money for drugs. Is that the kind of person the city wants to honor? I don't get this one. I really don't get this one. Raising a flag to Azerbaijan is another one I don't get. But George Floyd is hardly a hero. And do we start honoring criminal drug addicts? I guess we do in this town. What can I tell you? Leave comments. Do you think you should have that or not? Controversial subject. My stand is no. I would never in a million years okay this. No way. That's me. You probably have a different opinion. Set it down. Let it be known what you think. Tell me what you think. I just don't get this one. I don't get this at all. Okay, so you people out there with dogs, you want to let your dogs run loose? Only irresponsible owners do. And that's what happens when they start attacking other dogs and people. They get shot. And the cops shot one dead and hopefully charged the owners. The other one got shot, but it didn't die. It happened at the Niagara Falls at the corner of Drummond Road and Lundy's Lane on Friday. And I hear this all the time. I hear the same story all the time. Wow, this lady just whipped. What did she do? She just whipped something at the window. It must be another zombie walking around. She just hammered something at the window here. I don't know why. She's soaking wet, rocking in the rain. She must be Stu-Nod. But yeah, that's what happens when you let your dogs run loose. And I feel bad for the dogs. It's not their fault. That's what dogs do. They run around biting people in that unless they're trained. And if they do that, the owner should muzzle them or put them on a leash. Let them run around. And they start biting people, and they killed another dog. The one killed another dog, a small dog. And the cops got there and shot him because they came after the cops. They had to be taken out to stop their rampage. And, I put this on the owners. Dogs do what dogs do. Big Rottweilers, yeah, you don't monkey around. They're going to hurt you. If you have a gun, you shoot them dead. I know. I love animals. Believe me. I won't even go hunting because I love animals. But if they're going to threaten me, I've got to take action. Sorry. It becomes them or me. But the owners are the ones that are responsible, and they should be hauled into the slammer. They should be thrown in jail. Unfortunately, the dogs took the rap. One shot dead. One dead that was shot but alive. There's got to be charges against the owners and a huge fine. I mean, this can't happen. Come on. It's not right. And they killed another dog. Unbelievable. Stay tuned to this one. We'll see what the end result is, but that's on the owners. It's like when I go to a grocery store somewhere and the kids are running around wild, grabbing stuff and everything. I don't blame the kids. They don't know what they're doing. It's the parents you blame. Why aren't they supervising these kids? I remember one time I was in could have been Zares or somewhere, and this small kid, this tall, just a little tyke, was behind a grocery cart, pushing it real fast down an aisle. And when he was coming at me, right? I mean, I could have stepped aside, but I just put my foot up and stopped it dead. And the kid fell down, and his mother came running. I said, "Oh, he fell down. He's pushing the cart." But at the end of the day, what happens if there was an old lady? My mother's 100 years old. What happens if my mother was walking down that aisle and this kid ran her over with the cart? You couldn't see where he was going because he was too short. And that's why you got to take care of your kids. You got to keep them under control. But these days, if you went and grabbed the kid by the arm and took him to the front desk there, you get arrested for assault or something, these people. Take care of your kids and your dogs. What's the matter with you? Okay. Here I go again. Summer's here. People are heading to the beach, but watch out which beach you go to, as beaches are starting to be shut down because of water quality. This happens every summer. We know it's going to happen, right? Queens Royal Beach in Niagara-on-the-Lake tested unsafe for swimming, and Lake Erie Beach in Wainfleet tested unsafe for swimming. As we get into the summer and a lot more of these beaches start closing down, be careful out there. High levels of E. coli bacteria can cause serious illness including stomach cramps, diarrhea, and vomiting. With E. coli levels high, it is more than likely that other harmful organisms are present, and they cause skin rashes, eye, ear, and nose infections, and throat infections. It's not pretty. Stay out of that water, not if it's posted, but if it's raining, if the water is wavy or cloudy, there are a lot of birds hanging around for a couple days. Stay out of the water after a big storm. Basically, don't go into the water above your ankles ever. That's my advice. Don't get infections. You don't need them. They hurt. You got to go to the doctor. A beach may also be considered unsafe for swimming due to weather conditions, runoff, pollution, spills, smells, garbage, sharp debris, and dead fish. If you notice any of that, stay out of the water. Blue-green algae, if you see that, that's also a problem. It's toxic to humans, dogs, and other animals. The best bet, go to a pool where you can see the bottom and know what that's monitored and sanitized safely for your swimming. Yeah, I would stay away from the water at public beaches. Don't go in over your ankles. Go in there, cool off a little bit. Keep your head above the water for sure. And be safe out there and watch for the postings because they are monitored regularly and they are posted if they're unsafe. And We haven't even got to the warm weather yet. Wait till we get to the warm weather. They're all going to be unsafe. Okay, moving on here. Despite a bid by MPP Wayne Cheeto Bandito Gates and his cohort from Niagara Center, Jeff Birch, they got up there, made a big argument to remove parking at hospitals. The motion was defeated in Queen's Park. So the fees, they stay. Parking fees are an important contributor to the operation of all the hospitals, allowing them to add equipment and technology. The case was made that taking that away is not a great idea in these tough times, with little or no funding available to replace the lost revenue. And looking at the Niagara Falls situation, I can guarantee that if you cannot find a parking space in the lot when you have to pay, it's going to be a free for all, no pun intended, if they remove the parking fees. It's almost impossible to ever find a space now. And there's no other parking in close proximity. You got to park on the side streets, which are mostly marked no parking because of a parking problem. So they make you park a long way away, and you got to walk. So for people who can't walk, you have to look for alternative parking. You're going to have to get dropped off at the door, and then somebody who can walk is going to have to park and then go get the car and come and get you. I mean, the best way is the lots are regulated, and that allows more people to use them when they're regulated with parking fees. Some people won't pay the fee, so they do find other parking, and that leaves parking spaces open for those who will. If it's free, they'll just jam the lots all day. You'll never be able to find the space. It's just not going to happen. The only thing I would like to see is some way to reduce the rates or some idea. Maybe you have an idea out there, leave it in the comments, where they can still raise money, but people who just don't have that money can find a way. I don't know, maybe some kind of a discounted pass, or something, or I don't know. There's got to be a way to figure this out other than dropping the fees altogether. There's got to be a way. If somebody sits down, they can figure this out. I'd like to see the fees come down because that is expensive. I mean, when my mother was in there, I used to buy a pass. I think it was $80 or $90 for the month, because she was in there for a couple months, and yeah, I mean, I paid it, and I was glad to pay it because I was sharing it with my sister. She'd go, I'd go. But at the end of the day, there's people who can't afford it, and every dime counts now. I mean, we're getting hammered from everywhere, so free would be good, but it wouldn't. I don't think it would be help the situation there. Yeah, you'd be able to park free, but you'd never find a parking space ever anyway. It would just be taken up by everybody. So good try there, Mr. Bandito, but no go. And by the way, I didn't see him at the Rick Rose event. Yeah, I figured I'd see him there for sure. I don't know about Tony Baldinelli. He might be up in Ottawa. And Wayne could have been in Queen's Park on the weekend, though. He usually comes home. So, not sure about that. Speaking of the Cheeto Bandito, he's also pushing hard for free prostate tests for men, which I think that's something that's long overdue. We all know early detection of prostate cancer allows 99% cure rate, but because you have to pay for the test about $40, a lot of people don't get them done. I do. I do. Once a year, I do. Once you hit 65, it's paid for, so I don't have to pay now, but I did before. But it should be extended to anyone. Early detection saves a lot of money over having to pay for extended treatment, and it also saves lives. Early detection is very important. They do it with mammograms for women. Why not prostate tests? Doesn't make sense. So Gates says that prostate cancer is the most commonly diagnosed cancer among Canadian men. So there you go. PSA testing is covered by OHIP if there are symptoms evident. So a doctor sees the symptoms or symptoms are evident, they'll send you for it and you don't have to pay. A cancer diagnosis costs Canadians about $33,000 in their lifetime for treatment, not including other out-of-pocket expenses like the PSA tests. This is a good bill supported by all parties. It should make it through this time, and congratulations to Wayne Gates for that. I think that's very important for men's health. Okay. Well. Other municipalities are finally being asked to pony up for their share of this new hospital. And I'm going to get to that after I talk about my third sponsor, Hamel Machine Company. And Hamel Machine's been around since 1948. Any industry, when they come to a town like Niagara Falls, they set up shop. They want to know there's a good machine shop in town that can handle their needs. Industry has machines that are always breaking down. And they can't wait to get parts from all over the world these days: China, Taiwan, Vietnam, Germany, wherever they're making these parts. They can't wait for them. Even the United States, Mexico, South America. They need the machine up and running because time is money. Every hour that machine's down, they're losing money. So they go to a machine shop like Hamel Machine Company and they say, here, this is broken. Can you fix it? Well, yes, Hamel can fix it. And if they can't fix it, they can reverse engineer it. And usually when they reverse engineer it, they look at the machine and see if they can make the part more efficient and do the job better, because time is money today. That's their expertise. That's what they do. They have 3D printers. They have water jet cutters. They do it all at Hamel Machine Shop. But they haven't forgot the little guys. If you have a problem, if you shear a pin, if you have a problem, you break something metal, you need a part made, go over and see them. They can probably do it. And they can get you up and running at home right away. You need a set of back gates. They can fabricate them, design them for you, do a beautiful job with your initials in there. Yeah, that's nice, eh? So that's what they do. They've been doing it since 1948. They're professionals, they're expert, and they're very, very nice people. Hamel Machine Company, go to their web shop, or they're going to their shopping and a tour. They'll do it for you. They're great. But go to their website, hamelmachine.ca. Check out the stuff they do. They work with wineries. They work with a lot of businesses in the area, and they do it work for people all around the world. Check it out. Support our sponsors. They support the show. We thank them for that, and we thank all our sponsors for supporting this Rick Rose event, which it was a huge success. And yeah, it's always great when our local sponsors for the show or our local people in the city sponsor these events and take action in the community. So, what's going on here with this hospital? Now, Niagara Falls is already in for 50 or 60 million, at least, maybe more. So it's about time these other companies, these other cities pony up, take care of their share of the hospital. Now, Pelham has been asked to chip in $5.8 million for the 12-story behemoth, now in the process of construction on Montrose and bigger roads in the Niagara Falls area, with a 2028 opening date. So we want these other communities who are going to be using it to pitch in. They haven't kicked in anything. Now we're telling them we got to have the money, because we have said we're going to kick in 10% of the total cost. And the total cost right now, based on previous estimates of construction costs, is $2.3 billion. We've got $230 million to make up. And based on per capita, it's around $340.64 per person in the cities that are involved. So you take Pelham's population, 5.8 million is their number. Now, it's going to be interesting because it says costs to build and maintain the hospital have grown to $3.6 billion from the $2.3 billion originally estimated. But Niagara Health says they're not going to pass that extra cost on to the municipalities involved, and they will have options to pay their share over their several years. So the $5.8 million they're asking for from Pelham doesn't have to be plunked down all at once. They'll be able to pay it on over several years, so they can budget for it. Of course, parking fees. We just talked about that. will help to address needs such as MRI machines, CT scanners, beds, furniture, waiting room chairs, and other accessories, which are on the local hospital system, Ag Regional Health, to fund. Which is a big argument over that too, because it's a provincial hospital. They should be paying for all the equipment and everything inside it. Now, the Niagara Health System isn't finished there. The third leg of the three hospital system, we have the one in St. Catharines, this one in Niagara, and now the one in Welland. That has yet to come. So they may be back asking for more money for the refurbishment of the Welland Hospital. So is Pelham going to pay the $5.8 million? That's the big question here. Well, Pelham town staff was asked to return to council with a report outlining the feasibility of Pelham paying its share of the request. We'll see how that works out in the coming days. They haven't ponied up these outlying areas, and they're hemming and hawing about having to pay. So we'll see how that works out. But I mean, we've got a lot into it, Niagara Falls already, and us taxpayers, we don't want to pay anymore. We paid way more than our share. We've kicked up $30 million that we got sitting waiting for 2028 to drop in. We've got another $11 million that we paid to buy the property that's going to go on, because the people who gave us the property didn't give us enough, and we had to buy more. Plus, we have the infrastructure. That's what, 30 million or something to get the roads, the sewers, and everything else to do it. So we've put in a lot of money. We put in a lot more than we thought we were going to put in. So it's time for these other people to pony up. Come on, Mayor Jim, get out there. You're good at negotiating. Go up there and grab the money from them. Tell them they got to put in. Lean on them a little bit. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned to this one. We'll see what happens. No, I love all the smoke and everything. We talked about the smoke and everything in the air. Now, these climate change hoaxers, they're trying to make it look like wildfires are all because of climate change. Oh, climate change. All these fires are climate change. Nonsense. The truth is, of the 109 fires that were burning, 99 of them burning in Manitoba were human caused. That's right, humans started them, some on purpose. They had nothing to do with climate change, but this is what this media, this left-wing media does to you. They're controlled by the government, and they want you to pay carbon tax. They want to push this climate change agenda. We see it at the region. We see it in the city. It's totally ridiculous, and it costs us a lot of money, taxpayers, for nothing. There's no reason for it. It's a bunch of baloney. And now they're trying to push it on Manitoba wildfires. And it's nonsense. It's baloney. 99 out of the 109 were started by humans, and the other 10 they can't figure out yet. But I don't see how nature starts fires. I mean, unless there's a lightning hit or something like that. How else do they start? Tesla's burning? I don't know. But anyway, don't believe it. Another way to pick your pocket. They talk about elbows up against the States. How about elbows up against Canada? Elbows up against them picking our pockets. While our elbows are up, they're picking our pockets. Should be elbows down, hands in pocket. If you don't have your hands in your pocket, they will. Interesting article. Moving on here. Interesting article in the Pointer regarding property tax arrears, since this council has raised taxes close to 20% in the last 2 years. I haven't checked in Niagara Falls in particular, but since regional council has raised the taxes around 20% in the last 3 budgets, I would say that basically there are more people in tax arrears. They can't pay their taxes. I think that's why the city council came up with you can defer $500 of tax a year for 10 years, because people aren't paying. They can't afford to pay. But since our taxes have been raised at least 20% in the last 3 years, 25 or 26 in 4 years, I would say that we're going to face the same situation if we aren't already. And I'm pretty sure we probably are. I would say so. Apparently, there's a record number of property tax arrears, people who have not paid since the taxes have increased so dramatically. And to me, that makes perfect sense. I mean, they keep raising them and keep raising them. Now, by the end of this month, I got another 1,000 to pay. And the end of September, I got another 1,000 to pay. So, there's people who are on fixed incomes and they just can't afford their bills. They can't afford food prices, gas prices, utility prices, and property taxes on top of that. You have businesses that are also affected. Don't forget, when the property tax go up, if a business is renting their place of business, leasing it, then the people who are leasing it have to raise the price because their property taxes went up. If they own it, their property taxes go up. They have to raise their prices. So, I mean, if they can't make it a go of it because of high taxes, then they just close down. They close shop. I mean, what are you going to do? Seniors on fixed incomes, they've been subjected to these increases in everything. Most inflation is driven by taxes. Tax increases drive most inflation. The price of gas is so high. That's why, the price of gas is so high because we're getting hammered by taxes. Price of everything is so high because we're getting hammered by taxes. You look on any of your bills between fees and taxes, they're triple the actual cost of the goods. Your gas is cheap. It's all the fees and delivery charges and everything else that go with it that make it expensive. Same with water, same with everything else. The government is the problem. And the sooner people get to realize that, rather than blaming climate change or some other stupid thing, the sooner maybe, just maybe, we'll be up in arms enough about it so that they have to take action. They have to be sensible. They have to tighten their belts. Right now, they're just the spendthrifts. Not saving us any money. But highest number of tax arrears for years and years and years and years, and I understand it completely. It makes sense. Let's go down south here to Trump. He's not fooling around after the attack on Jewish supporters in Boulder, Colorado last week by an Egyptian national. He is now executing an executive order signed in January, and it was to sign a sweeping order from 12 countries and restrict traveling from 7 others. So 12 companies, they won't be able to come to the United States at all. 7 others, they may be if they qualify. The nationals of Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen, all fully restricted. They're not welcome in the U.S. Partial restrictions will be placed on Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. And now I saw he's going to add more to these lists. And I mean, President Trump said he considered foreign policy, national security, and counterterrorism goals, as well as concerns that visitors from certain countries were overstaying their visas when he made these decisions. Of course, the left is crying discrimination. This is discrimination, but the bottom line is these countries have shown hate towards the United States and are high security risks as far as being let into the country. Canada has to follow suit. I mean, it's ridiculous that we aren't limiting. And I think I read something that Carney is going to start limiting immigration from certain areas. I mean, he has to, because if they can't go into the United States directly, they come to Canada, and then they filter through the Canadian border into the United States. There's ways to circumvent it. They were going through Mexico, but Trump essentially shut down the Mexican border. It isn't happening anymore. But there's a lot of these guys in the country already, with 20 million coming in the 4 years that Biden was running the country. And we see the results of it in California right now, in Los Angeles, with the riots going on. Trump called in 2,000 National Guard. He's calling in 500 Marines to patrol the streets there. And if you've been watching it over the weekend, it's been a disaster in LA. It's ridiculous. These people are fighting with the cops, and there's gonna be people dead. I guarantee it. There's gonna be people dying. And it isn't gonna be the police or the National Guard. It's gonna be these illegal criminals that are in the country. And I said this 2 or 3 weeks ago. I said, you know what? If Trump or anybody else, Tom Homan, think they're going peacefully, they're just going to take an exit, allow you to arrest them. That they're crazy. These people, they want to sit here and protest and shoot at cops and do everything else, but they don't want to go home. If they hate it here so much that they got to be on the streets protesting, why don't they just go home? They're protesting the police action in the 2,000 National Guard. If you don't like it, go home. I don't get it. Why would you stay in a country where you feel persecuted and that you have to get on the street with masks on and light cars on fire, overturn cars, fight with the police, and risk getting shot? It's crazy. Just go back to Mexico. What do you protest? You have to protest. You're supposed to be here because you want to be here enjoying the good life in North America. You're not coming here to protest and everything else. You don't like it, go home. And if you don't go home, they're going to send you home anyway. If you're illegal, you're a criminal. It's bottom line. I don't get it, but if you watch TV, it's just wild out there right now. I think I'm going to end off today because we're almost at the witching hour here. And I think I'll talk about Trump again because we have a huge media war going on between Trump and Elon Musk. I don't know if you guys saw this, but I'm watching this, and this is crazy. The marriage appears to be over, at least for now. Trump is staying pretty quiet about it all, but Musk is at an all-out war accusing Trump of being on the Epstein list and saying that the reason the list has not been released is because Trump's on it, which is nonsense. That's crazy. I mean, come on, think about it. First of all, if Trump was on that Epstein list, people have seen it. Democrats in power have seen it. Do you not think the Democrats would be all over this? This would be on every news station nonstop for I don't know how many years. He would have never made it to the election without this coming out. Believe me, it's nonsense. So why Musk is saying this, I don't know. And if Musk knew this, why didn't he release it before? He releases it after a spat. He didn't like Trump's big, beautiful bill. And really, I mean, he's lost all credibility, Elon Musk, now. He's lost all credibility. I mean, these people like Trump, the billionaires and these guys, they move in the same group. So, of course, Trump ran into Epstein. I don't think he knew him because he threw him out of Key Largo because of his reputation. Didn't want nothing to do with him. But he probably knew him. And if there's pictures of him in the same room, of course, there would be. They go to all the same functions. This is a closed group of very rich people who do this, go to the same functions and everything else. So, yeah, that's a possibility. But it was proven long ago that he despised the guy and actually banned him from Mar-a-Lago. I mean, when Musk says he's in the files, it really means nothing. Do you know how many thousands of people are in the files? I mean, Epstein was in that crowd, and if somebody was going somewhere and he needed a ride, Epstein would say, well, take my plane. Didn't mean they were going down to the island and doing anything. It means that they used this plane. There was families that used this plane that he knew. I mean, guys like Bill Clinton going down there 27 times to the island, yeah. But a lot of these other people aren't involved. A lot of people are on the list. A lot of them weren't involved in whatever Epstein was up to with Lolita Express. Now, some people say this is all staged, planned and coordinated to elicit some predetermined outcome or reaction, that Trump and Musk have something up their sleeves, whether it's just to finally get that Epstein list released, because at the end of the day, the easiest thing for Trump would do is say, hey, release the list. I'll prove I'm innocent. So it's going to come out eventually. Maybe that's what they're doing. They wouldn't release it. I don't know why. Well, how do we get here anyway with this feud? Trump posted Elon. Elon was wearing thin. He says, I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that he made. And he just went crazy. After the post that Trump had about that, Elon dropped the Epstein bomb. And he said, Trump said, I don't mind Elon turning against me, but he should have done so months ago, not now. This is one of the greatest bills ever presented to Congress. It's record cut in expenses, $1.6 trillion, and the biggest cut ever. This bill doesn't pass. There'll be a 68% tax increase and things far worse than that. I didn't create the mess. I'm just trying to fix it. This puts our country on a path of greatness, make America great again. So, you kind of knew this was going to last, though, really. I mean, most people knew it. You have the richest man in the world and the most powerful man in the world, the President of the United States, trying to get along. Who knows what's going on? We're going to have to wait out and see. Musk did a lot with Doge, and he deserves a lot of credit, but he's way out of line on this one. We'll see what happens. The battle's going to end somewhere, somehow. Trump's threatened to pull his rockets and everything, and then he says he's not going to. And somebody said, you guys should get together. It's better for America if you guys are working together. And Trump said, I agree, it is. So you never know. They may come up to it. They may come up to that. Who knows? Anyway, I'm out of here. Thank you for tuning in today, everybody. Like I said, it was a great tribute, and thank you everybody who came out to the Rick Rose event on Saturday at Taps Brew House. It was fantastic. It was heartwarming to see. The family was just overjoyed with it. They were in tears about the show of love and affection for Rick Rose, who passed away far too soon. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow with Trash Talking Tuesday at 12 noon, sharp. I'm always sharp at 12 noon, maybe even a minute before. So Gary Wilkins, don't tell me I owe him minutes. But I'm out of here for today. My name is Paul Killamere. This is Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, in the studios of 4680Q, Niagara Falls' #1 radio station. We are it. We are it. Have a great day, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow at noon. God bless you all. Enjoy the rain. Watch your plants grow. You're going to have to get out there with scissors after this. They're going to be blowing out of the ground. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of the day. See you tomorrow.